It's Joe. Welcome to my channel, AGTV for Life. Here is Reba, and today we're going to show you how to make these 5 essential items for your doll's kitchen. So if you're interested in learning about how to make these, stick around. But before we get into it, I just wanted to mention to you that Reba was a gift, and a very special friend sent her to me, and I made a video on the unboxing of Reba. So if you're interested in that, I included a link down below to that video. And I also did a video about the first week of Reba's life here with my dolls. So if you're interested in that video, there's a link to that down below as well. All right, let's move on to the reason why you're really here is to learn how to make all of these 5 items. This is a really fun video. I hope you enjoy it. I enjoyed making all of these items. 3 items I made in a past video. I'm not going to refer to it because you could just watch this video and you can make all of them based on this tutorial. The reason why I combined the first 3 item DIY with these 2 new items is because a doll friend of mine commissioned me to make a craft for an event that she's hosting. And here is my Instagram post if you're interested in how I packaged up the craft for her event. I just wanted to show that because I instructed the folks receiving the craft from my friend to come and watch this YouTube video to learn how to put it together. So we're going to go through each and every item in detail. So the first step is to go to my website. I included a link down below to the website. So click on that and go to this DIY item and click on download, and then print the 2 pieces of paper. The first one is printed on regular paper and the second one is printed on cardstock. Then grab yourself some glue, tape, scissors, a scoring tool or a razor. My preference is a razor, some straws, chapstick, a sponge or a scrubber, a piece of foil, and a small piece of a garbage bag, a square, let's say 4 by 4 inches. If you want to make a real dolly size magic eraser, you'll need one of these, and also a tweezer just to have on hand. Let's get started. The first step is to cut out all the printables, so let's do that. Now let's get started on assembling our printables, starting with our Lysol. So move everything to the side, get your mat out if you have one. I prefer to work on a mat because we're going to be using, or at least I'm going to be using, my razor. Take the label off your chapstick. Now we're going to remove the inside of the chapstick. If you received the kit that I talked about earlier, you don't have to do this part because I already removed it for you and glued the lid on. It's not necessary for everybody else to glue the lid back on the chapstick tube. Now get your Lysol can label and a piece of tape. Attach the tape to one side of the label and then wrap it around the chapstick container. Need to line up the label and trim off the excess. As you can see here, there's extra, so just grab your scissors and trim it a little bit. And then once you trim it, get a piece of tape. Make sure it's the whole length of the label. Trim up the ends and then close it up. Now your first item is done. So let's move on to the next. Your scrubber label and your scrubber sponge. And now we're basically going to just measure using your label and figuring out how much of the sponge you need to cut so that it fits in the label. Some variations of this is you can either do 1 sponge or 2 sponges. I've done both, so you could figure out which one works best for you. This is pretty simple. You don't need to get too fancy and measure with a ruler. You can eyeball it. And then once you have your sponge cut out, wrap the label around it. And you can either glue the sides close or you can use a piece of tape. My preference is tape, but it's totally up to you. As you're working on putting the label around the scrubber, just make sure you cinch the corners so that you bend the paper basically, and it will fit a lot better around the scrubber. Look at this, how it's coming together. It's so cute. Perfect for our dolls. Now we have 2 items completed, our Lysol and our scrubber. And before we move on, I just wanted to show you a couple of pictures of Reba with her scrubber. And it looks like she's all set now. She's ready to wash this whole sink of pots and pans. She has a happy face on, but I wouldn't be happy. And now she's cleaning the bathroom with her Lysol. Oh, she's such a beautiful doll. I love her. The Lysol's the perfect size too. Let's move on to the 3rd item, and that's going to be our Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. So let's grab our scoring tool or our razor, whichever one you want to use. If you use the scoring tool, make sure you use the smallest end of it. My preferred scoring tool is my razor. So let me score this item. By the way, if you decide to use a razor, remember your lines are much cleaner, but don't put too much pressure or you will cut your item. Just lightly score it. Now that the seams are scored, bend all of the areas, just like I'm doing here. And once we have everything bent, get your glue, and I'm going to show you something with this Elmer's glue. So we can use the Elmer's glue or tacky glue. Tacky glue is always my preference, and let me show you why. So I put the Elmer's glue on and cover it with the other side. We're only doing the side seams right now. We're not doing the top or the bottom of the box. So important that I mention that. So we're just going to do this. So line it up perfectly, or as perfect as you can get it, and press down so that it seals. We're going to move on to the garbage bag box and score this. But while I'm doing this, I want you to pay particular attention to the magic eraser box on the right hand corner of my mat. So keep an eye on that. You see what happened? It popped open. That's my problem with using Elmer's glue sticks, is because it's not reliable. It pretty much didn't seal it. So here we go with the tacky glue. The tacky glue always works. And when you're using tacky glue, you have to just hold it for a little bit to make sure it's sticking together. Let's go back to scoring our garbage bag box. Let's talk about scoring and cutting an opening for the garbage bag similar to this. See this top flap? Let's make a flap so that once you put the bags inside, you can have them pop out. Now look at the box, and this is the side you want to make this flap. Now the flap you're going to cut all the way through, but just don't start at the edge. Don't start there, just go down a little bit further. Now that the flap is cut out, you want to just bend it gently. Just give it a little flip up or whatever you want to call it. Just like that. So that you'll have a place for your garbage bags to come out. Now fold all your seams. All the seams that you scored, fold everything. And don't forget the ends as well. You want to have everything already folded, so when you come back to put glue on, it's ready to go. And if you do a good job scoring, it will be really easy to fold the sides down. And there we go. It's all folded down. Now let's put our glue on and glue the sides. We're just doing the side I'm showing you now and not the ends. So let's use our tacky glue. No more glue stick for me. And once you get your glue on, you're going to grab the other side of the box and hold it in place just for a little bit until you know that it's got a grip. And do it gently because you don't want to crush your box. It's only cardstock, it's not a really heavy duty piece of paper. So once you have that, you want to put it to the side and let it dry. Let's see, how is Mr. Clean doing? Mr. Clean is ready for more work. Let's fold down the bottom of the box and glue it together. Now let's work on our aluminum foil box. We're going to score the seams and fold them. The next step is to glue the sides down. And you're just going to put a little tacky glue on each side and then flip up the flap. And then repeat that process for the other side. We're going to put this to the side to allow the glue to dry and go back to working on our garbage bag box. We're going to glue down one side of the open ends here and leave one open. Grab your glue of choice, and then once you've glued it down, set it aside and let the glue dry. Let's go back to our Mr. Clean magic eraser. I'm going to make a mini magic eraser for my dolls. If you have one of the kits, a magic eraser is not included, and this step is optional. Look how adorable! Aww. So now we have our Mr. Clean magic eraser, we have our Lysol, and we have our scrubber completed. Let's finish the trash bag box. Grab your straws and figure out which one you want to use. You're going to take it and measure it against the box because the straw will be going inside the box. So you don't need to get a ruler. You can if you want perfect precision, but I don't work like that. I do things the way you're seeing right here on your screen, and that seems like it's going to work fine, so I'm going to use that. Now grab your garbage bag pieces, whatever you rounded up around your house. Cut a size that will fit around the straw. So once you have that, you can use a couple of them. You can use a longer piece. You can do whatever you want. This is totally up to you. I'm just going to use this small piece. Get a piece of tape and tape the piece of the garbage bag onto the straw, just like this. Once you have it taped on, then you're going to roll the bag around the straw, just like this. Now take your roll of garbage bags and put them in the box. If you have your tweezers nearby, use them to pull out the garbage bags. Once you pulled out a piece of the garbage bags, the next step will be to glue the sides down. So just fold the flaps in and get your glue. And for me, I'm going to add glue to the other flaps here underneath and on the top so that it has a secure hold. Just a little bit there, and then a little bit on the top, and a little bit more. Now we're all set. There's plenty of glue on here. And fold the flap over and just make sure it's straight. So just straighten it out. Sometimes when we're handling these types of crafts, they're not exactly straight and they can get a little crooked. So fold it down and just hold it for a tad to make sure it stays in place. And there you go. Look how cute that is. I have one last thing to make, and that's our aluminum foil. So grab one of those straws and measure it against the box and cut it so that the straw can fit inside the box. Get your foil and cut a piece that will fit around the straw. It doesn't have to be exact because you can always trim it, but however you want to do it is fine. You don't have to have that level of precision here. So I'm just going to eyeball the piece of foil that I need. I'm going to trim it, roll it around the straw. Wow, look at this dolly foil. To add more of a realistic look to your foil, get a pair of crinkle cut scissors and cut the edge. So to recap, we have our Reynolds wrap, a box of garbage bags, our Mr. Clean Magic Eraser with a real magic eraser inside. We have our Scotch-Brite scrubber, and we have our can of Lysol. I hope you enjoyed this craft, and if you did, you give it a big thumbs up. And let me know what you thought of this craft and what other types of things you would like to see me craft in the future. I post at least once every week, so I'll be back within the next week with another video for you. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I sure hope you press that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you get an alert when future videos drop on my channel. If you're a subscriber, thank you so much. I am so grateful that you're here with me, and you will not even believe, I think at this point in time or the taping of this video, I'm 3 subscribers short of 1,000. It just feels so good to know that there are so many of you who enjoy my content, and I know there are folks that watch my videos and have not subscribed because less than 50% of viewers subscribed and the rest haven't subscribed. So I hope you subscribe. I know you're coming and watching my content, so please just press that button and subscribe to my channel. It motivates me and it just makes me so happy. I mean, it doesn't even cost you anything. It just gives me so much joy. Okay, on that note, take care of yourself. Have a wonderful week, and I'll be back with another video real soon.